Welcome to Chosen Soul, a place where messages do not arrive by accident, but at the exact moment a soul needs to be awakened, comforted, warned, and led back into the discernment of God. Chosen one, if you are hearing these words right now, do not treat this as just another video that appeared on your screen. There are moments when God uses a simple message to touch something you have felt for a long time but could not explain. And today, this message is not here to confuse you. It is here to pull you out of uncertainty, out of silent overthinking, and out of the questions you have buried deep inside your heart. Chosen one, listen carefully. Your ideal life partner is hiding a big secret, and that secret is about you. Listen immediately, because this is not a small feeling, not a passing attraction, and not a random thought that came and disappeared. This may be a truth that has been held in silence for too long. Something has been forming in their heart, but they have not yet had the courage, the clarity, or the right timing to speak it. But when God decides to bring something into the light, no silence can bury it forever. When the season of revelation comes, what was hidden begins to move out of the shadows. And you must understand this. Seriously, this secret is not simply that someone likes you. This is deeper than shallow emotion, deeper than romantic curiosity, deeper than someone missing you because they feel lonely. They have seen something in you that many people overlooked. They have sensed a depth in you that they cannot easily explain. They have noticed the spiritual mark on your life, the difference in the way you carry yourself, the way you listen, the way you feel, the way you survived painful seasons without losing the softness of your soul. They cannot treat you like a temporary feeling, because you do not carry temporary energy. See, they cannot approach you casually, because something in you makes them stop, think, and face themselves. So do not underestimate what is happening in the hidden place. In Scripture, not everything hidden is rejected by God. Some things are kept until the right time. Some words cannot be spoken too early because the heart is not ready for their weight. Luke 8:17 says, "For nothing is hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing secret that will not become known and come to light." If this is real, if this is under God's permission, if this is not just fleshly emotion but something deeper, then it cannot remain in darkness forever. But hear this clearly. Chosen one, this message is not telling you to chase anyone. It is not telling you to lose your dignity, worship a connection, or build your life around something God has not confirmed. It is calling you into discernment. God does not want the chosen to live by guessing, by one look, one message, one memory, or one unclear feeling. He wants you to have eyes to see fruit, ears to hear truth, and a heart steady enough to recognize peace. Stay until the end, because what comes next will reveal why their silence may not be rejection, but preparation, and this may finally explain what your heart has been sensing all along. If this message is touching something you could never put into words, come on, Lord, reveal the truth. Like this video, subscribe to Chosen Soul, and keep listening with a sober heart, because what is truly from God does not need to be forced. It will be revealed in the right season, in the right way, by the right person. Chosen one, before you interpret their silence, you must first learn how to discern silence. Not every silence means the same thing. There is a silence that comes from fear, because a person feels something deeply, but does not yet know how to handle the weight of it. There is a silence that comes from immaturity, because someone may have emotions but still lacks the character to express them responsibly. There is a silence that comes from avoiding responsibility, where a person enjoys your presence but refuses to bring clarity. And there is also a dangerous silence that comes from emotional games, where someone keeps you close enough to wonder, but not close enough to feel secure. Chosen one, you must not romanticize confusion. You must not call every vague signal a divine sign. You must not call every delay destiny. But you also must not rush to call every silence rejection. Because sometimes silence is not the absence of feeling. Sometimes silence is the evidence that something is being processed in a hidden place. This is where spiritual discernment becomes necessary. The chosen one cannot live by assumptions, emotions, or fear. You must ask, does this silence produce peace or torment? Does it lead you closer to God or deeper into obsession? Does it invite prayer, patience, and wisdom? Or does it make you lose your dignity trying to force an answer? Because there are times when God is not only working on you, He may also be working on the other person. He may be dealing with their fears, their past patterns, their lack of consistency, their old wounds, and their inability to step forward with integrity. A person may not have spoken yet, but that does not always mean nothing is happening. Sometimes the deepest preparation happens before the first clear word is ever spoken. Look at Scripture. Many of the things God truly uses begin in places no one sees. David was anointed long before he sat on the throne. Joseph received a dream long before he entered the palace. Esther was prepared quietly before she stood before the king. God often develops people in hidden seasons before He reveals them in public moments. That is why you cannot measure everything by what you see right now. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, He has made everything beautiful in its time, not in your panic, not in your pressure, not in your demand for an immediate answer. In His time. If this connection is under God's hand, then timing matters, preparation matters, character matters, the hidden work matters. But hear this warning clearly: silence is never an excuse for emotional destruction. If their silence is making you anxious, dependent, desperate, unstably, or spiritually distracted, then you must step back and discern. God does not lead His children through chaos. He does not need confusion to guide you. He does not need emotional torment to prove something is real. 1 Corinthians 1:4-3 says, For God is not a God of confusion but of peace. So, if something is truly being prepared by God, it will not destroy the peace of God in you. It may require patience, but it will not enslave you to obsession. It may stretch your faith, but it will not strip you of your identity. It may ask you to wait, but it will not ask you to abandon your dignity. So, chosen one, do not be quick to worship silence, and do not be quick to fear it. Test it, pray over it, watch the fruit, guard your heart. If you have ever been caught between wondering, are they being prepared, or are they just avoiding the truth? Comment, Lord, give me discernment, and keep listening, because what comes next will go even deeper. It may be that your presence has awakened something in them so strongly that they can no longer continue living the way they used to. Chosen one, the first secret you need to understand is this: what they feel about you is not only attraction, it is not only emotion, It is not only the feeling of missing your presence when you are not around. Your presence has awakened something in them. You touched a place in their soul that many people never reached. And you did it without forcing, without chasing, without trying to prove yourself. You did not need to perform to be noticed. You did not need to create drama to be remembered. You did not need a strategy, a perfect image, or carefully chosen words to leave an impact. Something about the way you listen, the way you carry pain without becoming bitter, the way you remain soft after seasons that could have hardened you, and the way you live with depth in a world that often rewards shallowness has reached them more deeply than they expected. This is why the chosen one does not need to scream to prove their value. Real light does not beg to be seen. It is recognized by those who have the eyes to see it. Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world." And that is exactly why your presence carries weight. Not because you are perfect, not because you never struggle, not because you have everything figured out, but because there is a spiritual mark on your life that cannot be copied by surface beauty, temporary charm, or empty words. They may not know how to name it yet, but their spirit has noticed it. They feel that there is something different about you, something steady, something rare, something they cannot treat casually. Around you, they sense depth. Around you, they sense honesty. Around you, they sense that pretending will not work for long. And this is where the secret becomes more serious. You have become a mirror to them, not the kind of mirror that condemns, shames, or exposes them harshly, but the kind that quietly reveals what is real. When they are near you, it becomes harder for them to keep wearing masks. Your authenticity makes their performance feel unnecessary. Your calm makes their chaos noticeable. Your sincerity makes their half-truths uncomfortable. You do not have to force them to take off the mask. Your presence alone makes the mask feel heavy. And that is rare. Chosen one. Many people only want to be admired. Many people only want to be entertained. But you make this person want to be honest. Even if honesty scares them, they feel seen without feeling attacked. They feel understood without feeling pressured. And because that kind of connection is uncommon, it pulls them closer and makes them step back at the same time. Think of something simple from everyday life. A person can go through a long, exhausting day, meet many people, answer many messages, smile at many faces, and still, at the end of the night, remember only one short conversation with someone who made them feel peace. Maybe it was just a gentle question, "Are you really okay today?" Maybe it was just a look that did not judge them when they were tired. Maybe it was only a few quiet minutes after work. But it stayed with them longer than all the loud voices they heard that day. Why? Because for the first time in a long time, they felt truly seen. That is how many deep secrets begin, not with thunder, not with a dramatic confession, not with a sudden announcement, but with one simple moment that touches the soul so honestly that it cannot be forgotten. So if they have pulled back at times, do not immediately assume it is because you are not valuable. Do not assume they were never touched. Sometimes people step back because what they feel is too real to approach carelessly. They know they cannot enter the life of a chosen one with half-hearted intentions. They know they cannot bring confusion and call it love. They know they cannot come close to you with shallow words while their character is still unprepared for the depth you carry. This is not about you being too much. This is about them realizing that what is real requires maturity. honesty, responsibility, and courage. If you have ever felt that someone was deeply affected by your presence but did not know how to step forward, comment, real things require maturity. And if this message is speaking to your story, like this video so more chosen ones can receive the confirmation they need. Because, chosen one, your presence did not just get their attention, it awakened something in them that they can no longer ignore. Chosen one. The second secret is deeper than the first. They are not only feeling something for you, they are being pushed to grow because of what they feel. They are beginning to understand that they cannot come toward you with the same old version of themselves. You are not a connection they can step into whenever they feel lonely and step out of whenever things become uncomfortable. You are not a place where they can bring their unhealed wounds, their inconsistency, their confusion, and then call it love. You are not a door for someone to test their emotions, play with possibilities, or enjoy your presence without responsibility. If they are going to come close to you, they are realizing they must come as someone more serious, more honest, and more prepared. This is why their silence may not only be silence, it may be a season of inner correction. What they feel is no longer staying in the area of emotion alone. It is beginning to challenge the way they live, the way they think, the way they respond, and the way they show up. They are learning that something real cannot be built on sudden impulses. It cannot be built on appearing for one moment and disappearing the next. It cannot be built on beautiful words with no consistent action behind them. Real feelings must be confirmed by real behavior. If their heart has truly recognized you, then their actions must eventually begin to agree with that recognition. And that is where many people are tested, not in what they feel, but in whether they are willing to mature enough to honor what they feel. Chosen one, you did not have to chase them into this change. You did not have to manipulate them, beg them, pressure them, or lower your dignity to be noticed. When God places light on a person's life, those who have eyes will eventually recognize it. Your presence itself became an invitation for them to grow, not because you demanded it, but because something about your depth made immaturity feel exposed. Something about your peace made inconsistency feel uncomfortable. Something about your sincerity made half-hearted behavior feel wrong. That is how real influence works. It does not always shout. Sometimes it simply stands firm. And the right person begins to realize they cannot approach what is holy with careless hands. And listen carefully, real love does not only desire access to you, real love respects the peace around you. Someone who is truly being prepared will not just want to have you. They will want to protect the clarity, dignity, and spiritual rhythm of the connection. They will not rush you just to satisfy their emotion. They will not keep you confused just to feel powerful. They will not use silence as control or affection as a trap. Mature love understands responsibility. It knows that if something is from God, it must be handled with reverence, patience, and truth. James 2:17 says, "Faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead." In the same way, emotion without mature action is not enough to build something lasting. Feelings may open the door, but consistency proves whether someone is ready to walk through it. So do not only listen for what they say, watch what they become. Watch whether their presence becomes steadier. Watch whether their words become clearer. Watch whether their actions begin to carry the weight of responsibility. Because the one who is truly being prepared will not just feel deeply, they will start living differently. Don't stop here. because the next part is very important. Not only are they being prepared, but your own heart has been sensing this for a long time. If you believe real things create real change, subscribe to Chosen Soul and comment "God is working in the hidden place." Chosen One, there is a reason this connection has not easily left your mind. Maybe you tried to move on with your day. Focus on your responsibilities. Silence your thoughts. And tell yourself that it was nothing. But somehow, this person kept returning to your heart in quiet moments. Maybe nothing dramatic happened. Maybe there was no grand confession, no obvious sign, no clear explanation. Yet every small interaction seemed to leave an echo. A short conversation stayed with you longer than expected. A simple look felt heavier than it should have. A moment that others would have ignored made your spirit pause. And this is why you must not ignore what your heart has been sensing. But you also must not let that feeling rule over you, because, Chosen One, not every feeling is the will of God. Not every longing is confirmation. Not every emotional pull is the leading of the Holy Spirit. Not every dream, memory, coincidence, repeated thought, or quiet sign is the final answer. This is where many people become deceived. They feel something deeply, so they assume it must be divine. They miss someone, so they call it destiny. They see one small signal, so they build an entire promise around it. But the Chosen One must be wiser than that. You must test the spirit behind the feeling. You must test the fruit. You must test whether this connection draws you closer to God or deeper into confusion. 1 John 4:1 says, "Do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God." That means even your emotions must be brought before the Lord. Even your desires must be surrendered. Even the thing that feels powerful must be examined in the light of truth. The real sign is not obsession. The real sign is peace. If this is from God, it will not drag you into chaos. It may make you think, but it will not destroy your mind. It may require patience, but it will not steal your identity. It may stretch your faith, but it will not make you abandon your dignity. The peace of God does not always mean you have every answer. Sometimes it means you are steady, even while waiting for the answer. Colossians 3:1-5 says, "Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts." That means peace must have authority over your emotions, not your emotions over peace. If what you feel keeps making you panic, chase, beg, assume, overthink, and lose yourself, then you must pause. God's guidance produces clarity over time. It produces sobriety. It produces obedience. It does not imprison you inside a fantasy. So waiting correctly is not weakness. Waiting correctly is a spiritual act. You are not chasing them. You are not forcing the door open before God has opened it. You are not building your life around a possibility that has not been confirmed. But you are also not closing your heart out of fear if God is truly preparing something. You pray. You observe. You guard your heart. You keep your hands clean. You let time reveal what emotion cannot prove. The Chosen One does not force a door that is still shut. But the Chosen One also does not ignore a door God may be preparing to open. If you are learning how to separate emotion from the peace of God, come on, Lord, give me discernment, and keep watching. Because now we are about to enter what many people miss, the signs that this hidden secret is about to be revealed through action, not just through feeling. Chosen One, When something hidden is approaching the time of revelation, it often does not arrive with noise first. It arrives through shifts, small changes, quiet movements, subtle signs that may look ordinary to others, but feel different to your spirit. The first sign is this: their presence becomes more intentional. They no longer appear in your life in the same unclear, half-present way. Their attention begins to carry direction. Their concern begins to feel deeper. Their energy no longer feels like someone casually passing through, but like someone becoming aware that they cannot keep standing at a distance forever. You may notice they choose to be more present instead of leaving you to guess. They may respond with more care, show up with more consistency, or make small efforts that reveal they are no longer treating this connection as something vague. The second sign is that their words begin to carry more truth. Conversations that once stayed on the surface may begin to open into something deeper. They may start speaking with more honesty, more softness, more weight. It may not be a dramatic confession yet, but even a simple sentence can feel different when it comes from a heart that is no longer hiding the same way. They may say something small, but your spirit feels the seriousness behind it. They may ask a question that shows they have been thinking more deeply than they admitted. They may begin sharing parts of themselves they used to keep guarded. This is how truth often begins to come forward, not always through one loud declaration, but through words that slowly stop pretending. The third sign is that their actions begin to agree with what their heart already knows. Chosen one. This matters, because words can create emotion, but actions reveal maturity. If this person is truly being prepared, they will not keep forcing you to guess forever. They will begin to show up with more steadiness. They will respect your boundaries instead of testing them. They will not use silence to control you. They will not use confusion to keep you emotionally attached. They will not disappear and return only when it benefits them. A person who is being dealt with by God begins to understand that access to you is not something to be handled carelessly. Their behavior will begin to carry responsibility, not just attraction. The fourth sign is that peace inside you begins to increase instead of chaos. You may not know every detail. You may not have every answer. You may not know exactly when or how the truth will be spoken, but something in your spirit becomes steadier. You are no longer driven by panic the same way. You are no longer desperate to force a sign. You are able to observe without losing yourself. That is important, because when God is revealing something, He does not need to blind you with obsession. He gives you sobriety. He gives you discernment. He gives you peace that helps you see clearly. If this thing is truly moving under the hand of God, it will make you more awake, not more addicted to uncertainty. But here is the warning: do not idolize signs. Do not take one look, one message, one dream, one coincidence, or one emotional moment and ignore the fruit. The chosen one must look deeper than signals. You must look at character. You must look at consistency. You must look at whether this person is becoming healthier, clearer, more responsible, and more respectful. Matthew 7:16 says, "You will recognize them by their fruits," not only by their words, not only by their timing, not only by the way they look at you. Fruit reveals what is truly growing inside a person. So if the signs are present but the fruit is rotten, do not call it God. If the emotion is strong but the actions are careless, do not call it confirmation. If the connection feels intense but keeps producing confusion, step back and discern, because every true revelation has a time appointed by God. Some things, if spoken too early, can be damaged by immaturity. Some words, if released before the heart is ready, become pressure instead of blessing. Some connections, if forced before character has grown, become a burden instead of a gift. But when the timing of God arrives, what is true will not remain buried. They may have gone through confusion, they may have tried to avoid it, they may have kept silent longer than they should have. But if truth has been growing in them, silence will eventually become too small to contain it. And then the question will no longer be, is this real? The question will become, how do I respond to this with honesty, responsibility, and reverence before God? If you believe that real things will always leave real fruit, comment, I will look at the fruit, not just the signs. And do not miss the final part, because this is the warning every chosen one needs to hear. Do not chase the secret. Let God reveal the truth. Chosen one, as this message comes to a close, hear the central truth one more time. The biggest secret is not simply that someone is thinking about you. The deeper secret is that the presence God placed on your life has awakened something in them. They have realized that you cannot be treated lightly. They have realized that you are not someone they can approach with shallow intentions, inconsistent behavior, or half-hearted words. They have realized that if they are going to step toward you, they must step with maturity, honesty, responsibility, and respect. But even while this truth is being formed, you must not lose your peace waiting for someone else to speak. You must not place your emotional stability in the hands of a secret that has not yet been revealed. You must not let another person's silence become the ruler of your spirit. Chosen one, this is the final warning. Do not idolize a human being. Do not turn an unspoken secret into a prison for your mind. Do not build your destiny around one message, one look, one memory, one dream, or one sign that God has not fully confirmed. The chosen one does not live by guessing. The chosen one does not live by emotional panic. The chosen one does not abandon wisdom just because something feels powerful. You are called to live by faith, by discernment, by the peace of Christ, and by the wisdom that comes from God. If this connection is truly from Him, you will not need to destroy yourself to keep it alive. You will not need to chase what God is able to reveal. You will not need to beg for clarity from someone who is truly being prepared to walk toward you with integrity. So I declare over you today, what is real will be revealed in the right time. What is false will lose its power to keep you confused. Every counterfeit connection that feeds on your uncertainty will be exposed. Every emotional trap disguised as destiny will be broken. The person who comes from God will not need to manipulate you with silence. They will not need to keep you in darkness to feel in control. They will respect your peace, your boundaries, your dignity, and your walk with the Lord. You will have eyes to see fruit, ears to hear truth, and a heart strong enough not to chase what God has not confirmed. You will not mistake confusion for confirmation. You will not call obsession love. You will not call anxiety the voice of God. You will stand still. You will watch. You will pray. And you will let the Lord reveal what is hidden. Father, in the name of Jesus, reveal what is true and remove what is false. Give this chosen one discernment that is stronger than emotion, peace that is deeper than fear, and wisdom that cannot be shaken by confusion. Protect them from illusion, from rushing ahead of your timing, and from clinging to anything you did not ordain for their life. If this person is from you, let them come forward with clarity, maturity, honesty, and peace. Let their actions carry responsibility. Let their words be clean. Let their intentions be revealed by fruit. But if this connection is not from you, close the door. Guard the heart of the chosen one, and give them the courage to release what was never meant to stay. Now ask yourself honestly, do you feel peace or chaos when you think about this connection? Do you sense that someone is close to revealing something they have held inside for a long time? Do you believe that what is truly from God does not need to be forced, because it will be revealed in the right season, in the right way, through the right person? If this message touched what you have been carrying in your heart, comment, Lord, reveal the truth. Like this video, subscribe to Chosen Soul, and share it with someone who needs discernment in this season. Because Chosen One, what is truly from God does not need to be forced to exist. It will be revealed at the right time, in the right way, and by the right person.